that you get in here is, I guess, we'll be right back. There we go. That makes sense. So it's almost identical to the other Hall of Fame cards we've taken a look at in the past here, but this one here, it's got this little bracket that you actually attach to the back of the graphics card, so you're not just like pushing up on the cooler shroud. This actually attaches to the back of the card right here with the included screws, like so, just like that. And then when this is attached to it, this guy here just pushes up into that little rubber spot, and then this is how you support the back of your card. That's actually a pretty neat idea, because something people have complained about quite a bit with big heavy graphics cards like this is the amount of sag and stress it puts on the motherboard socket. So anyway, here it is right here. It has still got the bare kind of a brushed aluminum backplate on there. It's got two 8-pin PCI Express power plugs, and of course the massive PCB on this thing, which is white. That's one of the things that people have always loved with the Hall of Fame cards, is they are perfect for white builds. They have a white face, white fans. People think they should have gone with a white backplate. I tend to agree, but an aluminum backplate, and then of course the white PCB. Something else that's cool about this little adapter too, though, is it looks like you don't have to mount it just on the back. You can mount it right here on the side as well. If you wanted to do it that way, there are also some mounting points there. Now, looking at the cooling pads on this thing, I can say that this does appear to be cooling the VRM, as well as the RAM, as well as, of course, the GPU itself. That's something I know people are going to ask because of the whole recent fiasco thing with EVGA. So yeah, I can say that we do have thermal pads touching the VRMs and are going to their own heatsink right here. This plate I just showed you on the side is not only an adapter for mounting that little bracket, but it's also a heatsink itself as well. Now, I'm not going to go into all the specs and stuff of a GTX 1080. This has been out since May. This is now going into December, almost December. We have heard these specs over and over and over. So I'm sorry if you've never heard of that before, but I'm not going to go into it. I want to spend more time doing some real life overclocking and benchmarking of this guy right here, because I'm curious as to what the overclocks are like. And this has a pretty beefy cooling shroud underneath the heatsink. Not only does it have all of its heatsink pins or pipes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heat pipes on here, we also have this huge shroud that is touching things like the VRM and the RAM and the MOSFETs and all that stuff, which is going to give you some good active cooling as the air blows down through the cooler to cool those components as well. So now that my Steam library is finished updating, let's go ahead and install this guy. Today's video is not going to be a complete a complete review. I'm not going through all my benchmarks. I'm not going to be putting up all the FPS numbers. And a card like this, I'm curious how far it overclocks. So that's going to be the main focus of my video today. This is my desktop. Running Windows 10 on my test bench. I kind of have to if I want to take advantage of all of the DX12 stuff when I'm doing these tests. But whatever. Anyway, we have all stock settings going right here. I do not have the Uber mode fan button pushed. I don't know exactly what it's called, but when I push that button, the fans basically go to 100%. We're not doing that right now. We're just going to be checking out here my own settings we're going to play with. So we need a baseline. We're going to go ahead and run TimeSpy here to give ourselves a baseline number so that we can actually monitor how far we actually came. Otherwise, we don't know how much improvement there was. That's kind of the point of today's video. How far does this graphics card overclock? And is it good? I don't know. Let's find out. So while the test is wrapping up here, it looks like our core is settled at about 1987 and just dropped down to 1974. Temp, so as you can see, 62C. And yeah, GPU load 100%. And we have a lot of power limit available to us. This is only at 69, 70%. It's bouncing in the low 70s, high 60s. So that tells us we have a lot of power limit available. I don't know how much core limit we're going to have, though. I have not personally had a card come in here that can achieve a 2200 number. 2162 are the highest numbers I have seen yet come through this office, and only 2 graphics cards have done that. So I'm curious to see what this one's going to do. And then this is just a CPU test right here, so this has nothing to do with the GPU at all. Okay, so we started out here with a graphics score of a 7634. That's not too bad. we'll have to see how far that comes up now. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to go ahead and we're going to bump the power limit all the way up to 116. I'm gonna do the core voltage percentage all the way up to 100. Basically what that does is it moves where the voltage slider is gonna go to 100%. Core clock, we're gonna add 100. Memory clock, we're gonna add 500. And then for fans, we're just gonna go ahead and kind of bump the curve up a little bit. We are overclocking it. In fact, those fans are very quiet. You barely even heard it. So these are the settings we're gonna try now. Everything is applied. Let's go ahead and run this again, see what happens. So that time we went up to 2088, and that's where it settled. I actually bumped up to 2112, but then it settled back down at 2088, or 2114, excuse me, that was its max. That gave us an improvement up to 8153, so that's actually a bit of an improvement right there. But I do think we have a little bit more in this. So let's go ahead and go 150. Let's apply that. Do this again now with a 150 megahertz offset. That should put us right around 2160 before it steps down. But we have to see if it even starts to pass that 2160 megahertz mark. Oh, as you can see, we're getting a lot of artifacts right here at 2177. A lot of artifacts, but no crashing. That's weird. So let's go ahead and cancel that test. Okay, so let's apply our overclock again here. So I'm going to do 130. I'm going to go back to 500 on the memory. And I'm going to put this back to 85%. We're going to apply all that. Let's try it again. Nope, same artifacts. So I guess we're going to try 125. And then that'll be our final test, because I don't think we're going to get much higher than the plus 100 we saw. And we'll talk about that here at the end of the video, why that is. And we still have a little bit of artifacting here happening at 2152. So unfortunately, this graphics card is not going to be one of my top overclocking cards that I have had come through here. Yeah, and at 2139, we're still getting all the artifacts. So we're gonna have to call it at plus 100 being as far as it would go. It's not bad. I mean, that got us a 2114 that stepped down slightly to a 2088. One other thing to show you real quickly too is the button on the back here, what it does to the fan speeds. What you're hearing right now is 100% automatic. It's how it is out of the box. But if you push this button on the back, it literally overrides everything. It puts the fan at 100%. But be warned, it's noisy.
We gotta capture this mercenary camp. Right on.
Unfortunately, the Hall of Fame card did not break any overclocking records here. In fact, it's pretty run-of-the-mill. 1080s are just, they're so cookie cutter. All of them go to about 2050 to 2088. Some of them go farther up to about 2162. Some of them don't even pass 2000. But they're all, I'd say 80% of them are right around the middle of about 2088. This one being no exception. Regardless of how much you give it extra power, how much you cool the thing, it all comes down to silicon lottery for the core. Now let's talk about why these cards are so damn similar when it comes to where they perform. The main core on this, the Pascal core for the 1080, is rated at 1607 megahertz with a 1733 megahertz boost clock. This card, as you saw, automatically on its own without touching anything and using GPU Boost 3.0, overclocked itself to over 2000 megahertz. And then once it started to warm up a little bit, it slowed down to about 1998. So if you compare where this card is sitting now, compared to where the Founders Edition card is, which is where NVIDIA, specs the card, is actually overclocking itself approximately 250 megahertz. That's actually really good. We're only able to achieve about an extra 120-ish megahertz by going in and playing with settings and doing stability testing. So unless you're the kind of person that just really loves to tinker and play around with the settings just to get that last little millimeter of performance, then this is the kind of card that you would just put in, leave it and know that you're getting really good performance. I know it's rare to hear me say a card doesn't need to be overclocked, but you kind of don't have to with a card like this. It's overbuilt, it's overcooled, it's got everything you need. When I say over, that's good. We want more cooling than we need. We want more power delivery, cleanliness than we need, because that's going to give us a really good gaming experience. Now the weird thing about this card is if you live in the United States, it's kind of a unicorn. It's very hard to get your hands on them. They are not sold by retailers in the United States. This is an internationally available card, which means that for once I had a video here that really was aimed 100% at my international follower base, which is kind of unique and kind of rare around here. Anyway guys, that's it for today. Sound off in the comments if you have one of these cards. Let me know how far it overclocked, what your temperatures are like, and what kind of system you're running it in. It helps everyone to kind of make an informed decision rather than just taking my word for it, which I would never recommend. Don't take only my word. Listen to, kind of form your own opinions by listening to everybody. Alright, thanks for watching guys. As always, I will see you soon.
Excellent work. Time to man up.
What's up guys, Jay's 2 cents here, and it's not Science Week, but we're gonna do something for the sake of science anyway, and I don't know why I'm doing like little T-Rex arms, but I digress. With its unique freeform modular system, the new Master Case Maker 5 from Cooler Master allows unparalleled flexibility with its adjustable internal layout and exterior customization options. Learn more about how you can start customizing your own case by following the link down in the description. So, when everyone was at CES this year, and I stayed home with Coconut Monkey.
Sounds like a plan.
Hi.
Yeah, but let everyone know you're there. I have a dynamic tripod, it's moving. We played around with different water cooling fluids, and we tried milk, and orange juice, and Powerade, and you guys liked that. And in fact, one of the most common responses to that was, do it with thermal paste. Well, people have done that video before, but that's not gonna stop me. I'm gonna do it anyway. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna play around with different stuff from around the house and see how, I guess, it works as
We ought to capture this mercenary camp. Time to man up.
Warhead deployment in process.
Whatever's clever.
Warheads are now ready for collection. Warhead collection confirmed.
This should be good.
Nuclear silo armed. Collection confirmed. Enemy nuke launched. You have destroyed a fort.
Keep up the momentum!
I suggest we take this mercenary.
All day long. Got something special for you. Sounds like a plan.
Arming your nuke now. All warheads have now been collected.
Right on.
Confirmed. Fort eliminated. Nuclear launch detected.
Got something special for you.
Enemy hero terminated. Enemy defeated.
Much obliged.
Elimination complete. Mayhem. Vital signs negative.
You can count on me. One foot forward.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie298 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And the reason I'm laughing is because I just watched this little short ad kind of thing that I created, which I think I'll probably upload separately on the channel, but also I'm going to show it to you right here. So watch this.
Whoa! Wow! Whoa, man! That is crazy. The tits on that dinosaur are just so realistic. Oh hi! I didn't see you there. I'm YouTuber Boogie2988, and you know, after a long, hard day talking about video games and playing video games for a living, I like to come home and unwind by playing a little bit of video. You know, we've entered that giving time of the year. And that's why I'm asking you and all of your loved ones to give me your vote for Trending Gamer 2016 at this year's The Game Awards. We're up against a pretty stiff competition this year. Angry Joe, Jacksepticeye, Danny O'Dwyer, and Lyric. But I have it on good authority that they are all reincarnations of Hitler. You wouldn't want to vote for Hitler, would you? I didn't think so. So do me a favor. Use the link in the description box below or go to thegameawards.com and vote for me as your trending gamer because I need this, man. I need this so fucking badly. Oh, and hey, be sure on Thursday to tune into thegameawards.com, here on YouTube, on Twitch, or even in virtual reality to watch me lose to a much more talented individual. God damn it, because just like the American elections, this is probably rigged too. Fuck! Pick this up.
Yeah, okay, so that video turned out pretty cringy. And that was the goal, by the way. It was supposed to look cringy, like a terrible campaign ad. What I did not realize is that the sound was terrible, that the autofocus of the camera was going to flip out. I didn't expect any of that. So it came out even cringier than we had anticipated. And not on purpose. But I may still upload it separately by itself. I may upload it here on probably Facebook, maybe Twitter as well. But yes, that means I am still nominated for Trending Gamer this year. You may not have even heard about that because the video that I uploaded talking about that did not do great. I know Game Award shows are stupid and silly and all that stuff, but I really enjoy them. I want there to be a really cool one, and I think Jeff is doing the best job that anybody has ever done when it comes to talking about the people who make the games that we love, right? Like if you go back and watch Game Over Greggy's speech, which I hope that you do, his acceptance speech last year really reminds me of how important the people who make these games are and how much shit we give them all the time, every day. And I don't know, really, the opportunity to meet some of those people, shake their hands and say hello and thank them for the games that they provided, and much less the life that they have provided for me because of those video games. That's a great opportunity. Plus, it's an excuse to do a bit of a work vacation. Me and my wife never take time off. We never travel. We're 3 years out. We still have not taken a honeymoon, have we yet, honey? And she never, she does not let me live that down, does she, honey? Anyway, we do a few work trips like this. Is about all we ever do. And so this will be an excuse to go out and see. We're going to do the Game Awards on Thursday. Then we were going to do the PlayStation Experience, and we might go to Disneyland one day. We might, you know, I've had a bunch of YouTubers contact me. Justine, she's wanting to hang out. Dan Bull's wanting to hang out. I think that's awesome to actually get some of the people, get to see some of my favorite YouTubers, my favorite people, who are basically friends at this point. People I've talked to for years and years and years. Dan, I've talked to him off and on, I think, every month or so, a couple times a month for the last 4 years. If you don't know Dan Bull, I'll probably link him down below. But Google him. He did this Epic Skyrim rap and a bunch of other great music. I almost missed it, and I'm not going to lie. If you've been following me on Twitter, you probably know about this. I have a condition in my leg called lymphedema, and I've actually decided to make a video about that in its entirety, talking about the condition, how it's treated me, how I got it, how I'm treating it now, stuff like that. Because a lot of people in the last few videos have been noticing. Oh, look at his legs, look at his feet, look at his legs, look at his feet. I know a lot of people consider it gross, but I'll save that for the video. There's a video that'll be going up this week that talks about my feet and legs in the entirety, posts a full story. I think you'll really enjoy it. Long story short, though, I do tend to get an infection in there every couple times a year. And this year was no exception. I got one earlier at the beginning part of this year, and now we've got this one that's going on that kept me pretty much bedridden all weekend. I was down for 12, 14 hours at a time, wearing my compression socks and stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you, I think right up until we get on the plane on Wednesday, I won't know whether or not it's safe for me to fly. Because if this infection's in there and we travel like that, it could get way worse. And I could end up in the ER. We thought about going to the ER this weekend. Unfortunately, my doctor is so familiar with this issue, he has a standing antibiotic script, low-level antibiotic. That way I can start taking it as soon as we see the sign. Thanks to him and thanks to that, I was able to prevent having to go into the ER and spend a huge amount of money, and then able to take care of myself. So I think we're still going to get to go, but until the plane leaves on Wednesday, I make no guarantees. Fingers crossed, because I think it's going to happen. And I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. I do have some content that I've been filming for you. I did film a little bit this weekend, and I did still stream last night, and I plan to stream again tonight, stream as much as I can. But I think tomorrow night will be my last night streaming. But it's worth it. It's worth it to actually do this. I wish that this time of year did not become so... because there's so much going on. And the rest of the year is just so dead and so empty. It's just me filming and streaming. It's just filming and streaming. But, you know, we had Jesse and the stuff we're doing there, and let's get we'll keep giving him shit on Twitter and so on and so forth. Then you got, you know, the Magic event that we're planning, which I'm not ready to go public about that yet, because I want to make sure the locals are the people who are invited to that. No offense to you guys. And then we got, we're looking at flying home for Christmas, driving home for Christmas. We have a big Christmas party, and then we got all the big Francis films, videos that we've got planned. And I got to tell you something, after having seen the way Jesse works and working with Jesse, I got to say, it really makes me want to amp up what we do with the Francis sketches. And hopefully you saw my Thanksgiving Francis sketch. I thought that was amazing. So I love that, and I want to do more of that. You know, Jesse cranks out these 20, 30-minute vlogs, and he just basically, I mean, it's his life, right? You know, but at the same time, I think I learned a little bit about, I don't know, what it takes to make in the YouTube world from that kid. Which is weird, because I've been at it twice as long as I've been at it twice as long as he has. But he's more than twice as successful than I am. And you gotta always be willing to learn. This old dog will learn new tricks. And I'm learning them now. So here we go. I think that's really about it. I'm hitting the ground running today. I'm filming this, I'm uploading this. We filmed the thing last night. Let's get ready to stream tonight. Maybe take a quick break and get caught up in The Walking Dead. Other than that, man, everything is going great, and my health is improving. Don't worry. Good news is, every time I get one of these infections, I lose a few pounds. So, silver lining. There's always a silver lining. Hey, you know what? We haven't done a keyword in a while. Why don't you use the word silver? That's a hard one to use. If you can use the word silver, in your comment section below. Maybe you got some silverware that you're hoarding. Maybe your currency is backed by silver. Maybe you found the silver lining in the world. Whatever, if you use that in the comment section below, I'll know you made it all the way to the end of this very silly, self-indulgent video. But that's what this series always is, right? Guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much. And I'll speak with you again soon, and I'll see some of you at the Game Awards. How cool is that?
Nuclear launch detected.
Francis. Yeah, I'm home. No, he won't be here for a couple hours. Do you want some help?
What?
Do you want some help?
No, I do not want your help. This is my day. I'm doing the cooking, okay? But if you want, I got some stuff set up for you, okay? Let me pour you a drink.
Oh, sure.
Mountain Dew, let's
Sounds
make-
great.
I thought we'd make it fancy. There we go, like that. Look at that. And this is yours. I'm gonna give you this whole. I'm gonna give you about.
I don't
half
need
a
the
can.
whole. Yeah, I don't
I'll
need
give
the
you about half a can. Okay, that's yours.
Wow, thank you.
And now I got appetizers for you. You're hungry, right? You're hungry, right?
Yeah, I'm
So you
sorry.
want appetizers? Okay, so I got these are cheese puffs here, and this is the Cracker Jacks, and this is gummy worms, but these aren't normal gummy worms. These are imported. These are imported gummy worms. I thought you
Imported
would like
from
these.
where?
Mexico. They're in the Mexico aisle, and you better eat these now because Donald Trump is going to make them go away. This is turkey jerky. This is turkey jerky for a
Oh.
season.
Yep, these Super Saiyan transformations were graded. Super Saiyan Pop Quiz! Hey guys, MasterCoX here. Now I've talked about Super Saiyans quite a few times in my discussion videos. I've talked about why Super Saiyan 3 was cool but dumb, Super Saiyan 4 to be fierce yet underappreciated, and the idea of female Super Saiyans being entirely possible. This time we're scaling back the forms to a form before Super Saiyan 4, before Super Saiyan 3. The form which, for quite a while, was the strongest a Super Saiyan could get. Super Saiyan 2, or Super Saiyan Grade 5. Wait, Masako, grades? What kind of schoolyard voodoo is this? Why have you got to remind me of high school? I'm sorry. I don't remember school fondly myself, but the whole idea of grades is important to the establishment of Super Saiyans as we know them. For a while, it was the only way we actually referred to Super Saiyans. Take your minds back to the early 1990s, when Dragon Ball Z was fresh on Japanese TVs. The idea of Super Saiyans was still fresh in the minds of many fans across the land. And not before too long, the characters in that show were finding new variations and trying to discover a level beyond Super Saiyan. They were chasing something greater, and those forms proved quite fruitful for the characters and Toei's coffers. These new forms were miles ahead of the golden-haired warrior that terrorized Frieza in the Namek saga a couple of years previously. Much like that saga, the talk of an ascended Super Saiyan was right throughout the whole series, with Goku actually kind of summing it up in the Buu saga as a Super Saiyan that has ascended beyond the level of a Super Saiyan. That really rolls off the tongue. In any case, the talk of a new form got Vegeta and Goku quite curious, and they spent most of the saga trying to chase after it. As the Cell saga progressed, we started to see new forms taking shape, with Goku, Vegeta and Trunks leading the